a good finally Friday morning to you. No, I'm not Dan Kuntz. I am Eric Grantstrom filling in for Dan because Dan is celebrating a very special milestone for the class of 83 this weekend. Happy 40th class reunion for for everybody, but specifically for Dan. It is Wenatchee High School class of 83 reunion this weekend. So Dan's off today. He'll be back on Monday. I'll be sitting in on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and a happy finally Friday to you. Looks like we have a little change in store for us weather-wise. We'll talk about that coming up this morning. Also, we're going to re-air an interview that Dan did here about a week ago with Jerry Anderson, who is with the Chelan County Football Officials Association. It's getting to be that time of year. We're talking about Seahawks football. High school football is just around the corner, and they need your help. Also on the program today, latest local news. We'll get you sports news. Good news if you're a Mariner fan or an Apple Sox fan. We'll talk more about that coming up. First, though, before we begin anything else, do we do the Valley View cameras first? You're right. It's been a long time since I've done this. Okay, so we'll first take a trip around the valley and take a look at our Valley View cameras, thanks to LocalTel's Sky-Fi Wireless Network. Of course, we start off with our view of our lovely valley and another picturesque scene, although you can see some haze in the distance there. We are going to have a little bit of haze, especially if you head north of the valley here and head up towards the Okanagan County. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment. But good morning, Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, and happy finally Friday, 4th day of August 2023. To camera 2, we will look down upon Cashmere from just above the hillside there above Apple Annie's, and you can see that sun rising and falling upon most of Cashmere right now. And looking off to the west, looks like a pretty decent day to start with up in the Cascades as we get a look at the enchantments there in the distance. A little bit of a shake in the camera, so that means a little breeze blowing this morning in the Cashmere area. Good morning, Cashmere and Monitor and Leavenworth in the distance. All right, camera 3 will take us to, this is McNeil. Okay, so McNeil Canyon. We're looking across the Lake Chelan, right? Just over the hump there. Okay, so good morning, Lake Chelan. Looks like a little bit of a haze on the horizon, but not too bad of a morning here if you're rising and shining in Orondo or Chelan Falls or up at Lake Chelan this morning in Manson. Good morning to North Central Washington from all of us here at the NCW Life Channel. Okay, camera 4 is going to be the interesting one. This, you can't see a lot there. You can kind of make out the Columbia River snaking through the middle of your screen, but that's a lot of haze. Now, there are some forest fires burning. There was one that started last weekend north of Oroville. That's still causing some smoke. Of course, we still have the Canadian influence on those fires that continue to burn that also cause some air condition problems for our northern climes here in Washington State, and that's definitely the case as we look down for Billy Goat towards, you can't really see it, but Pateros is in the foreground and Brewster in the background and Bridgeport's around the corner there, but a little hazy this morning in North Central Washington. Thanks to LocalTel Sky-Fi Wireless Network for providing us our Valley View cameras this morning. Now, as far as the National Weather Service is concerned, we're actually looking for a little bit of a change here as we look into the weather and the outlook. There you see it, another warm day today, but they do throw in that chance of a shower or thunder shower as we get through the day today, tonight, and into tomorrow. It might linger a little bit into Sunday as well. So just be prepared for that as we talk about the weather forecast here for North Central Washington. We'll get you details on that coming up. 93 are expected high today, cooler over the weekend, and as you look into next week too, cooler next week. So a little reprieve from the triple digits we've seen in the forecast. Now today, sunny skies, 93. They say a 20% chance of showers or thunder showers. That's going to start about midday today. Overnight low 70 with the clouds. Tomorrow we'll see a 20% chance of showers or thunder showers with a high of 88. Saturday night, 20% chance of showers or thunder showers. Lows down to 69 on Saturday night. 40% chance of showers or thunder showers on Sunday with a high of 86. Should be sunny on Monday with a high of 90. Tuesday, sunny and 89. Partly cloudy Wednesday, 84. And mostly sunny Thursday with a high of 87. Yesterday's high for Wenatchee, 93. The overnight low, 63. Record high for today was set in 1961. A scorcher, 106 7 degrees. The record low for today, 52, set in 2002. Normally, we're about 89 for the high and 64 for the low. The sun rose this morning at 5:43. It'll set tonight at 8:30. And yes, we have we're gone past the midsummer in June 21st. Is that the summer solstice? So we're getting actually shorter days and less daylight per day. Tomorrow's sunrise will be at 5:44 and sun will set at 8:39. So we're going to lose 2 minutes of daylight here in the next 24 hours. That's a look at your weather forecast and the almanac, and we will come back and get you the latest local news coming up. But a reminder, our guest this morning will be Jerry Anderson with the Chelan County Football Officials Association. That'll come up in the last half of the hour. It's a Finally Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll come back with your latest local news right after this.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Hit the open roads this summer with Click It RV Superstore in Moses Lake during the Great American Sales Event. The best brands, Grand Design, Flagstaff, Thor, SMC trailers, and more. Over 1,000 RVs. Payments as low as $240 per month. $240 down. 0 payments until 2024. Up to $4,000 over JD Power for your trade-in. Plus, get a Traeger grill and Yeti cooler with purchase during the Great American Sales Event. Now at the Click It RV Superstore in Moses Lake, off I-90 on North Frontage. Hurry in today.
I've waited too long, now I'm jumping back in. My pockets stay fat, but your wallet is thin. Let's go. Everybody sing the sounds like if you know. We don't really want to wait too long. Our feet grow long to sing our songs. Every day is another chance to make our stand. Seal the plan. Do you really know who you are? You're a shining star right now.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Eric Granstrom filling in for Dan Kuntz here on this Finally Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is the 4th of August, 2023, and currently 69 and fair skies in the Wenatchee Valley. Taking a look at local news this morning. Authorities evacuated the Okanagan County Courthouse Wednesday over what they say is an unidentified substance discovered inside one county office. The auditor's office was the site of the discovery about 3:55 in the afternoon. Workers there notified the sheriff's office, and the entire courthouse facility was evacuated as part of the emergency response. The building remained closed into yesterday while police investigated. That means no access to county offices, including the auditor, county clerk, assessor, and treasurer. Incidents also closed down the district court hearings schedule for yesterday. Authorities have yet to say whether they have learned the nature of the substance that was found. Well, Frost Lake, staying in Okanagan County, Frost Lake, otherwise recognized by the Department of Fish and Wildlife as Mills Lake, will undergo construction to meet safety requirements. This will include adding items for wildlife such as nesting boxes and basking structures, as well as increasing the size of the spillway configuration of the dam. The work is not expected to impact hiking trails, water levels, or public recreation. Fish and Wildlife wants visitors to be aware that access to the lake through the crest of the dam will not be available once construction is underway. Construction will begin on September 18th and is projected to continue through early November. In other news this morning, Senator Patty Murray was in Wenatchee on Wednesday to hold a roundtable with agricultural producers and executives while Congress tries to hammer out the 5-year farm bill. That massive spending and policy package has to be reauthorized every 5 years, and the current bill expires September 30th. Neither the House nor Senate has yet produced a new draft, and Republicans in Congress are campaigning for cuts of food stamps and related farm bill programs. Murray, a Democrat, told NCW Life the current farm bill is likely to be extended while negotiations continue.
I think it's going to be a real challenge. We only have a few weeks in session. The House doesn't come back till the second week of September, and both bodies have to pass it and come to agreement on everything. So we didn't stop working on it. We are continuing to work on it, but we need to get an extension of it so we can go past September 30th and resolve the final issues before the end of the year. Well, I am deeply concerned about some of the demands the House has in reducing funding for many of the critical programs that are really critical to our farmers here in Washington State, to our specialty crops and across the board, and to the SNAP program, which is an essential part of the Farm Bill, always has been, and it has always had bipartisan support. But I hope they, like me, have gone home for their August recess, are talking to growers and farmers, producers themselves, and hearing the concern, and that will give us the impetus to get this done.
A Wenatchee man who pleaded guilty to his parts in a local drug distribution scheme was sentenced yesterday to 6.5 years in federal prison. Tyson J. Horner, age 29, is one of 3 men charged last year with possession and distributing drugs, including fentanyl and methamphetamine, out of a Wenatchee hotel room. Horner pleaded guilty in U.S. District Court to possessing at least 400 grams of fentanyl with intent to sell. Charged with the same incidents were Nabil Akhdari of Phoenix, Arizona, now serving 87 months in federal prison, and Brandon Lux of Yakima, sentenced to 5 years in state prison. The Columbia River Drug Task Force arrested all 3 men in a sting operation last year. In other news this morning, a driver who apparently fell asleep was the cause of a head-on collision Wednesday south of Tonasket. The Washington State Patrol says 29-year-old Nicholas Shetler of Omak was northbound on Highway 97 when his Kia drifted into the southbound lane, striking an oncoming Chevy Suburban. The Suburban rolled and Shetler's vehicle struck the guardrail. Both drivers, the other a 37-year-old Tonasket woman, were transported to North Valley Hospital. The accident is still under investigation. Well, in other news this morning, farm operations that apply compost to enrich their soils can apply to the state for reimbursement of the cost. State Department of Agriculture has launched a $1 million program to pay back farmers for the purchase of compost from an eligible supplier. Compost is a soil amendment made from decomposed natural matter, including farm and food waste. Each farm operation could receive up to $10,000 through the program. Applications are expected to open next month for that program. Well, how about some beer? Adults interested in STEM and beer can enjoy both at the Wenatchee River Institute and NCW Library's upcoming Beers and Bots event in Leavenworth. Enjoy coding robots and an immersive planetarium experience as you sip on a selection of craft beers from Icicle Brewery and fine box wine that will be available for purchase. A fun chance to forge new connections with fellow science enthusiasts. The event will take place on Thursday, August 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Wenatchee River Institute's Red Barn in Leavenworth, which is located at 347 Division Street in Leavenworth. That's a look at local news this morning. We have more, of course, coming up in the NCW Life newsroom with Grant Olson coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. If you have an update for us on something happening in your neck of the woods, you can always get a hold of us by the route on the bottom of your screen. You can email us directly at news@ncwlife.com. That gets to the whole news staff here at the NCW Life channel. You can reach out directly on phone too at 888-NCWL. That's 888-888. It's been a while since I've done this. 6295. There you go. And you can also find us on Facebook. Be sure and like us and follow us while you're there, or just our good old-fashioned website at ncwlife.com. We will take a break at 14 minutes past the hour and come back with sports news on the way. Also, Mike McNaughty with his opinion and an obscure holiday and some things in history and birthdays and things like that. It's all on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley here on the NCW Life channel.
Ibis Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The Westside Project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
17 minutes past the hour here on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, looking at sunny skies to start the day, maybe a chance of showers and thunder showers moving in later on. We're expecting a high of 93 today. We're at 69 in downtown Wenatchee. In for Dan Kuntz, I'm Eric Granstrom on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. With sports news, Cade Marlowe delivered in the clutch for Seattle last night, cracking a grand slam home run at the top of the ninth to give the Mariners a 5-3 win over the Angels. Shohei Ohtani kept the Mariners scoreless into the fifth inning when he had to stop pitching with cramping in his right hand and fingers. Eugenio Suarez extended his RBI streak to 9 games with a solo home run, but LA came storming back to take what seemed to be an insurmountable lead. That's when the rookie came through in the ninth.
And blister problems in the month of July. High fly ball, right field, backing up Renfroe, backing up and gone. Gino's got the Mariners on the board. It's 1-0 Seattle. Hey, Eugenio Suarez, yet another run batted in for him. Man, oh man, is he hot.
Crone hits it up the middle. It's a base hit to center. Here comes Ohtani around third. The stolen base pays off. The game is tied.
That is why he's the MVP by a mile. Steals a base, C.J. Crone, clutch. Ties it up with a base hit up the middle.
Moustakas lines a base hit to right center. This one's headed for the wall. Crone's on his way to third. He'll be given the green light. Crone coming home with the go-ahead run. Mike Moustakas, an RBI double, and it's 2-1 Angels. But he drives this one to right field. Back to watch it go as Can's on. This is 40.
There truly is no words to describe this man, Shohei Ohtani. A walk, stolen base, and then a rocket home run, number 4 of the season. He left the game after 4 innings with cramping in his hand and fingers, and then he hits a rocket out for a home run. He's just not of this planet.
Here we go, the pitch. High fly ball, deep right field, going back, and goodbye! A grand slam by Cade Marlowe. And the Mariners have a 5-3 lead here tonight. They're bidding for the 3rd comeback victory in the last few days. And how about Cade Marlowe's first career grand slam? Wow. 2-2 to Renfroe. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. Mariners win it. Wow, what a come-from-behind victory.
Yeah, what a come-from-behind victory. Manager Scott Service credited Brian Wu for a great start to give Seattle a chance for the dramatic comeback in the ninth.
You know, it starts with Brian Wu. I thought one of the best outings he's had all year. Really efficient. Was in the strike zone early, got his secondary pitches working, and you know, he ran into a little trouble there. You know, in the sixth inning with 2 out, you know, I didn't want to give in to Ohtani. You know, he steals the base, left the ball up to Crone. That's the pitch I think he wished he had back. Allowed you know, Crone to get the ball in play, and then, you know, but he didn't wilt. He's hung in there, got through the inning, obviously, down the game, and then you're trying to hold him right there as long as we could. But what a comeback! You know, you need a couple things to go your way. Our guys were patient, drew a couple walks, and then huge hit by Cade Marlowe. What can you say? What he's done for us since he's come here, it's really been a shot in the arm. And we didn't expect grand slams in the ninth inning against the closers and stuff like that. But he's an awesome competitor, and he's not overthinking it. He's just playing baseball, and he's enjoying it, and he's having a lot of success. And good for him, good for us, because we've needed it. But good things offensively. JP again on base 4 times. Gino with a home run. We continue to grind and find ways to win ball games. Not easy tonight. You know, Ohtani was on top of his game on the mound. You know, he had to come out. I don't know why he came out. I'm sure you guys know more than I do on that. But you know, good way to start the series, and we'll just keep rolling.
Yeah, hope they keep rolling. Seattle and L.A. go at it again tonight, 6:38 on Root Sports Northwest. Meanwhile, Max Scherzer made his Texas debut last night, allowing 3 runs on 7 hits over 6 innings while striking out 9. Rangers win at 5-3. Mitch Garver and Marcus Semien helped the cause with home runs to keep Texas in first place. Rangers' lead in the West grew by a game after the Yankees knocked off the Astros 4-3. Anthony Volpe's RBI single broke a 3-all tie at the bottom of the 6th that put New York up for good. Ahmed Rosario's 2-run double highlighted a 4-run 6th inning for the Dodgers in LA's 8-2 win over Oakland. Well, the Seahawks moved training camp from Renton to downtown Seattle today. The Fan Fest and mock game at Lumen Field gets underway with the gates opening at 4. The game starts at 5:20. Coach Pete Carroll met with reporters after practice yesterday and said he's very pleased with the team's progression through camp so far. Oh, okay. Video's not there. Sorry about that. Carroll highlighted the work of backup quarterback Drew Lock and says the mock game tonight and next week's first preseason game against the Vikings is a big opportunity for him. The mock game, by the way, again at 5:20 tonight at Lumen Field. Well, the Apple Sox got a home run from MJ Sweeney and came back to beat Bellingham 3-1 last night. The win helped Wenatchee salvage the final game of the 3-game series before heading out for Kelowna to wrap up the regular season this weekend. Voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has more on last night's win.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox salvaged their 3-game series against the Bellingham Bells as they picked up a 3-1 victory on Thursday night at Joe Martin Field. Wenatchee gave up the game's first run in the bottom of the first inning, but tied it up in the second on a fielder's choice with the bases loaded, and then MJ Sweeney gave the Sox the lead for good with a 1-out solo home run in the 5th inning.
The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and launched down the right field line. This ball is heading back, and it is gone! MJ Sweeney gives Wenatchee the lead. A solo home run off of the southpaw Egger here in the top of the 5th inning. Sweeney makes it 2-1 Wenatchee as the dugout comes completely out to greet him as he'll make his way over now. First home run of the season in WCL play for Sweeney.
Jaden Williamson went 5 2/3 innings of scoreless ball in relief and had 7 strikeouts to pick up the victory.
Now Williamson on for the Apple Sox in relief. Serves up a ball, grounded to short. Chance for another double play. Lopez to David. Over to first. In time for the 4th Apple Sox double play of the game. And the tall right-hander delivers a pitch. In there for called. Strike 3. Jaden Williamson strikes out the side in the 8th inning. Let's go to the 9th. It's 2-1. Wenatchee in the lead. 12 men left on base for the Sox. 2 aboard with 2 down. Lopez will take off. Pitches outside for ball. The throw goes into center field. Lopez steals second, goes to third on the throwing error. That gets away as well. He will stumble around third and now scamper back to the bag. And the Apple Sox are going to argue for interference at third. MJ Sweeney comes home to score on the throwing error. The pitch. On the outside edge for called strike 3 as Williamson waves goodbye to the Bells, and Wenatchee earns a 3-1 victory tonight.
Wenatchee continues the road trip by taking on the Kelowna Falcons on Friday night. They will face them at 6:35 p.m. at Elk Stadium. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. Austin Olin finished the game 2 for 4, while Jaden Williamson picked up his 4th win of the summer in relief. Wenatchee begins that all-important 3-game series in Kelowna tonight at 6:35. They'll play tomorrow at 6:35, and then Sunday night at 6:05. Now, Victoria and Kelowna kept pace with Wenatchee in the second half standings by both winning last night. Levi Abbott and 2 relievers held Nanaimo to 1 run on 5 hits as the Harbor Cats swept the Night Owls 4-1. Raphael Smink and Cameron Mercurio each had 4 hits for Kelowna in an 11-5 win over Kamloops. Edmonton's Tom Poole was 3 for 3 with 3 runs and 3 RBI to lead the Riverhawks over Port Angeles last night 11-7. Ethan Hedges was 3 for 4 with a run and RBI to lead Corvallis over Portland 5-2. Kyle Mamarian had 3 hits and 2 RBI to lead Cowlitz over Yakima Valley 8-5. Walla Walla took 2 of 3 from Ridgefield with an 8-5 win last night. Aiden Espinoza led the Sweets, going 3 for 5 with 3 runs, 2 RBI, and a home run. Well, Bend scored 10 runs on 12 hits as the Elks beat Springfield 10-2. Here's a look at the combined standings for the West Coast League. North and South headed into the final weekend of play. Wenatchee's lead a half game over Victoria, 2 games over Kelowna for the second half title. Bellingham already qualified for the postseason by winning the first half title. Ridgefield is in as the first half winner of the South. Corvallis is a game and a half in front of Cowlitz for the second half title. The Knights have surpassed the Apple Sox for the best overall record, which means home field advantage in the playoffs. Portland looks like they'll be the number 4 seed in the South. Well, it's Christmas in August at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval this weekend. WVSO is helping kick off the NCW Community Toy Drive presented by Les Schwab. You're invited to bring a new unwrapped toy as a donation on your way into the gates. Racing features the Rockstar Energy B-Mods, Plum Perfect Roadrunners, the Pro-Am Drifting Showcase or Showdown, and the Zero Handicap Youth Roadrunners. Gates open tomorrow at 4:30. Racing starts at 6. Go to WVSO.com for tickets and for more information about the racing coming up this weekend at WVSO. 27 minutes past the hour on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're at 70 in downtown Wenatchee under clear skies. Expecting maybe a chance of some thunder showers coming in later today and tonight. Before we get to the obscure holiday in this day in history, let's take a morning slurp here to get you started for a Finally Friday. Grab your beverage, grab whatever you're drinking this morning, and join me for a morning slurp. Got a nice chunk in there. All right, obscure holiday. We have a lot of them that we could have chosen from today. It's National Assistant Dog Day. Very important. International Beer Day. Now, you'd probably think, well, Eric, I'm sure you chose that one. Nope. National Coast Guard Day and Single Working Women's Day. But I chose, of course, Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Chocolate chip cookies, one of America's favorite cookies in the U.S. alone. Over 7 billion chocolate chip cookies are eaten every year, and there's no sign that this trend is going to end anytime soon. So it's quite suitable that this cookie would get its own holiday. The holiday falls August 4th and is known as National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. It's a holiday that we know goes well with a tall glass of milk and plenty of chocolate chip cookies. Now, the chocolate chip cookie was invented by a chef named Ruth Graves Wakefield. She was the first person to come up with the idea that if chocolate and cookie dough were delicious separately, then, well, they got to be good together. The story starts in 1938 when Wakefield and Sue Brides, her cooking assistant, were trying to make their own type of cookie dough. She had been serving a thin butterscotch nut cookie with ice cream dish that just about everyone who tasted it loved it, but she decided she wanted to give people something a little bit different. That's when she came up with the Toll House cookie, the first chocolate chip cookie to be made. By the way, this first chocolate chip cookie was officially entitled in her 1938 cookbook as Toll House Chocolate Crunch Cookies. Toll House, by the way, is the facility that she ran as a place for people to stay for the night. A Toll House. The popularity of the chocolate chip cookie had a lot to do with America's involvement in World War II during the 1940s. Soldiers stationed overseas received care packages with Toll House cookies in them, and this prompted interest in them among soldiers serving. Before long, Wakefield was inundated with hundreds of letters from around the world asking for the recipe to her now famous chocolate chip cookies. The rest, as they say, is history. So there you go. It's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Today is the 4th of August, 2023. This day in history. In 1790, the Revenue Cutter Service, the parent service of the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard, is organized. So happy birthday to the Navy and the Coast Guard, the Cutter Service. Okay, I didn't know that. 1979, President Jimmy Carter established the Department of Energy. It is a Goliath these days. 1988, the U.S. Senate votes to give each Japanese American who was interred during World War II $20,000 compensation as an apology, reparations, for the first time from the U.S. government. Also on this date, Apollo 15 was the 9th crewed, that is not crude as in gross, that's crude as in C-R-E-W-E-D, crude, mission to the United States Apollo program, and the 4th to land on the moon. It was the first J mission with a longer stay on the moon and a great focus on science. That earlier landings, Apollo 15 also saw the first use of the lunar roving vehicle.
The lunar rover was an electrically driven bare-bones car to allow the astronauts to cover much greater distance on the moon than the previous 3 flights could accomplish.
This is really a rock and roll ride, isn't it? Never been on a ride like this before. Oh boy.
It had a top speed of about 8 miles an hour, although I think in later flights they actually cranked that up to about 11 miles an hour. Scott and Irwin spent 3 days exploring the Apennine-Hadley region in the lunar rover. There's actually a plaque on the lunar rover vehicle that was left on the moon that says man's first wheels on the moon. The heavy focus on science for Apollo 15 was its primary feature. It was achieved 2 ways. One, of course, with the lunar rover vehicle on the moon to gather more lunar data. And secondly, the command service module carried a sim bay of scientific instruments that allowed Al Worden to gather many photographs and much data as he circled the moon for his 3 days in orbit. One of the interesting experiments that Scott performed on the moon was to demonstrate Galileo's theory that 2 objects will always drop at the same rate in an airless environment.
For our Falcon, and I'll drop the 2 of them here, and hopefully they'll hit the ground at the same time. How about that?
Scott and Irwin, while they were doing their lunar rock studies on the moon, came across a single rock that was determined to be over 4 billion years old. It was called the Genesis Rock. Scott and Irwin spent over 18 hours on the moon, the longest time of any of the Apollo missions at that time, and gathered 170 pounds of lunar material to bring back. They also set out the Apollo Lunar Experiments package. In a private moment, Commander David Scott laid a small aluminum statue of an astronaut on the moon to memorialize the 14 astronauts that had died in the US and Soviet programs. The lunar rover had a TV camera on it, and for the first time we were privileged to see the ascent stage take off from the moon. After Scott and Irwin were back in the command module, they continued to orbit the moon for 2 days, and during that time deployed the particle and field satellite.
Yeah, so they had launched in late July, but it was on this date in 1971 that the first satellite was launched into lunar orbit from a manned spacecraft. How about that? All right, celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday to former President Barack Obama. He was our 44th President of the United States. He's celebrating his 62nd birthday today. Also a birthday for actor and film director Billy Bob Thornton. He's celebrating his 67th birthday today. His southern accent, by the way, real. He was born in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Jazz musician Louis Armstrong was born on this date in 1901 in New Orleans, Louisiana. I always wondered about his nickname Satchmo or Satch. Evidently, it's short for satchel mouth. In 1932, then Melody Maker magazine editor Percy Brooks greeted Armstrong in London with "Hello, Satchmo," shortening that satchel mouth, by the way, and it stuck. Early on, he was also known as Dipper Mouth. A couple of things I didn't know about Louis Armstrong. Born on this date in 1901. Also, a local celebrity celebrating a birthday, Jennifer Corfiatas. Happy birthday, Jennifer. I have no idea how old Jennifer is, but she is one of the nicest, jovial, and upbeat people I've ever met in the Wenatchee Valley. Happy birthday to Jennifer Corfiatas. All right, there you go. That's what's going on for this 4th day of August 2023. And for Dan, I'm Eric on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to take a break. Mike Magnotti has an opinion for you because you're entitled to it. And then we'll come back as Dan had a chance to sit down or stand up. I think they were probably standing with Jerry Anderson to talk about football officiating. It's all coming up here on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for joining us.
Hi everybody, Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. We're switching from the cold of winter to the heat of summer. That can put a lot of stress in your HVAC unit.
Yeah, it really can, Dan. I would recommend that you get a maintenance. It can catch any potential problems that you might have during the peak of summer. And it's just a good idea to do on all season changes.
Great idea, good advice. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Bob File Boats and Motors is your local Yamaha headquarters. For more than 30 years, Yamaha outboards have delivered far more than superior power, performance, and efficiency. Yamaha owners get something that can't be measured in horsepower or RPM. Legendary Yamaha reliability. Find the Yamaha outboard that fits your life at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
I had had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, at home, we rarely watch network TV, but once in a while, like we watch the national news, or in the morning when we're out of town staying at a motel or something, we might watch HGTV or find a station that's playing Law & Order, particularly SVU. Yeah. But being Netflix and Amazon Prime junkies, network TV drives us crazy. 6 minutes of a show and the same amount of time watching commercials? I mean, it's ridiculous. No wonder streaming services are taking over TV entertainment. I mean, how many stupid drug commercials or ads for toilet paper can someone stomach when you're trying to enjoy reruns of Leave It to Beaver or a new episode of This Is Us? Gosh, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
This summer, Abby's Legendary Pizza is helping stretch your hard-earned money. Our giant pizza is loaded with so many toppings that it usually feeds 4 to 6 people. Plus, join our E-Club for special discounts for our favorite customers. At Abby's, we treat you like family. Abby's knows what our customers like, and it's not pear and arugula. That's why we're offering a special price on this pizza loaded with 2 of your favorite meat toppings, Canadian bacon and beef. And if you want, we'll add some delicious fresh summer tomatoes too. Order now at abbys.com.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise. Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set. These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
You even remember to water the house plants. I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office.
We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Welcome back to the program. We're here on the field of Liebhoff Field at the Apple Bowl as we're getting ready for another year of high school football. Jerry Anderson is joining me again. Now, we could talk about existentialism or apple blossom or the state of the world, but that's not what we're here to talk about, even though Jerry has interesting thoughts and ideas. If Jerry Anderson's on the show from the Chelan County Football Officials Association, that means it's time to get you folks interested in wearing the black and white stripes come this football season. It's good to see you, my friend Gerald.
Good to be here, my man.
You're looking well.
Thank you.
Here we are again. Obviously, the need is here again to get high school football officials, as you like to say. Without officials, it's just recess.
That's right.
Where do we stand right now as we start thinking about the fall football season?
We're in a little better shape than we've been the last several years. We know we've got at least 5 new officials this year, but it takes a couple of years for those people to get seasoned, and so they're ready to do work at the varsity level. And so they'll be doing a lot of the sub-varsity, 7th, 8th, junior high games. I think a lot of the public doesn't realize we cover 9 schools, but each of those schools has 1 or 2 junior high teams and a freshman or a JV team plus a varsity team. So
you add it all up, 120 games maybe? I'm just spitballing here. Can you give me an idea?
Yeah, I guess. I've never counted. I usually do somewhere between 35 and 45 games a season. So you multiply that by 20-some guys that are out here. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Monday afternoons for JV, you got Friday nights, you got Saturdays, you got double headers. It all adds up.
Right. Wednesday is usually the 7th and 8th graders. We're fortunate here in Wenatchee, especially with the Apple Bowl here. The kids can play. We play 7th and 8th grade double headers here, so it only takes 1 crew, and because it's hard for some of the officials to get off, early enough to do 3, 4 o'clock on the afternoon game.
So the schedule is put together by the athletic directors with some input from the coaches, of course, and they do it, I believe, in 2-year cycles.
Yes.
And then they spit out the schedule, and then they send your assigner, Dennis, here's what we got.
Right.
And then Dennis responds by doing what?
Well, he gets them all loaded up, and we use a computer program called Arbiter, and gets them loaded up, and then he starts putting people on different games. And what he looks at is strength of schedule, How important is this game? Is it a league game? Is it not a league game? And so we want to have good officials on every game, but obviously some of us are better than others. Others are still learning, and we're trying to bring them along. So he just assigns as he sees fit, but the strongest possible crew we can put out there, and we put out a 5-man crew on all varsity games.
And that's a requirement. That's one of the deals. You got to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are the skill sets that we're planting a seed here, folks?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've thought about it. I'm young. I'm in relatively decent shape. I like football, and I want to help out. What are the basic skill sets that one needs to just even consider becoming a footballer?
Well, I guess it would be the reason that we do what we do out here. We love the game. We love the kids. And almost all of us to the person thinks that team sports are a very integral part of an education. And if they don't have if we don't have enough officials, we don't have team sports. You don't have to be young. If you're 50 years old, 40 years old, you want to come out and get some exercise and you enjoy the kids in the game. And you can we just lost one of our best officials this last year because she moved to Hood River, Oregon.
Oh, she was good, too. I liked her.
She's an excellent official.
We did a number of games with her officiating.
Yeah, she was really good official. So we'd love to have the ladies, if they got an interest in the game, we're willing to work with them and teach them what's going on. But there's no particular skill set, I guess, that you need. You got to be able to study the book and pass the test and just be ready to have a little fun out here with the rest of us.
Our mutual friend, Rob Tidd, I asked him one time, because, we see Rob all the time out there officiating. I go, what do you do? And he goes, I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's pocket money. It's not the greatest money in the world, but it helps.
Well, we did get a raise a couple of years ago, so that's helping out a little bit and making it a little more worth our time, kind of covering the hours. Some of the travel isn't, we have to go to Coulee City, which is a long drive. That's our furthest drive, Coulee City and Manson.
But you are, compensated by that.
Right.
Yeah. So the couple of new twists this year. For one thing, the umpire, the traditional positioning of the umpire, has been basically that little dead area between the linebackers and the defensive backfield, usually in charge of also spotting the ball, or after each play is down. That is the number one location for an official to get hurt.
Absolutely.
You're right in the middle of the action, and so you guys got together with the people who make these decisions and say, yeah, let's go ahead and move the umpire to a new location. Talk about that.
Right, yeah, you haven't lived until you've been run over by a 240-pound linebacker. And you may not think you're going to live afterwards, but yes, we're going basically. Our state this is not a national thing. There's a lot of states that do it, but the state of Washington, the WOA, has decided this year we're putting the umpire in the backfield like the pros and the colleges do. And if you're a student of the game, you'll see a lot of things different in the mechanics and the way we cover the field this year. But it's going to be a lot better for us umpires, especially as we get older and don't move quite as fast.
So the umpire will now be in the offensive backfield,
Correct.
Basically opposite of the referee.
Opposite the referee.
The ball is snapped. Then what does the umpire do?
Well, it all depends on where the ball goes. If it's a drop back pass, the umpire still is going to, as I understand it, we're still waiting to have a class on this. So I'm kind of talking off the top of my head here, but the referee will stay with the passer. And the umpire will continue to watch the line for holds and ineligibles downfield and that sort of thing. If it's a run to the umpire side, he becomes in effect a referee at that point, and he officiates that ball clear to the sidelines. And if it goes the other direction than the referee, it's his ball. We basically split the field in half.
And the idea is it's a less dangerous position because the umpire is.
We've had a lot of a lot of us have gotten hurt working that umpire position, and there's a lot of guys that are good football people, know the rules, but they may only be 5'8" or 5'10", and they don't want to get lost back there in the tall timber and get run over, and so.
Here's a thought, and it just popped into my head. All of the games that we have been televising over the last 7-8 years on the NCAA Live channel, they're archived. They're on our YouTube page. I would recommend, queuing up a Wenatchee-Eastmont game or any kind of Wenatchee or Eastmont game. It doesn't have to be those two teams together. And instead of watching the players, watch the officials. See what they do. Because you got some good folks. You got some good folks who know what they're doing.
We have some good experience out there. Dennis has been doing it for 47 years. This will be my 43rd season. Rich Halderman has been there 30 or 40 years. So we got a lot of experience on the field.
but eventually you're going to want to retire. You want to be a grandpa. Every year I talk to you, say, my last year, and every year you come back. It could be, well, truth be told, you like it too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have a good time out here and enjoy the kids.
So you guys have a Facebook page. You can probably pop on there and message Jerry. You can get a hold of Jerry directly. Where do we go from here?
You can call me.
Provided we planted that seed. Go ahead, Jerry.
Give me a shout at 509-670-2800, and I'll get you hooked up.
So what's the initial? I'm interested. I've talked with Jerry. What happens next in the process of the newbies who are getting into this?
Well, we start meeting tonight. It'll be our first meeting of the season, kind of an administrative meeting. If you give me a call, I can give you the information. We meet at Wenatchee High School, room 600 over there, and we'll get the season off. And then we meet pretty much every Tuesday through August and September, and then our meetings slow down a little bit as the season picks up. But we, at our meetings, what we do is we go over the book rule by rule, and we study the mechanics. We have a course in how to handle coaches and players, pretty much teach you what you need to know. And then on the weekends, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, we have an on-field clinic where we physically show the guys and gals where to line up on the field and what their responsibilities are.
And some of the officials, if I remember correctly, will come to the football practices and basically officiate mock games. They'll come out and help. And
the first of the season,
well,
they'll have their jamborees and that kind of stuff. We did one last spring, actually, at Chelan. They had their annual spring game up there with Manson. And usually Wenatchee will have a jamboree, and sometimes Kashmir will have one. So it gives us some real good on-field training, too.
Oh, by the way, if you wear those black and white, vertical stripe, it makes you look thinner.
I need all the help I can get.
Come be an official. I love officials because, again, as Jerry said, without officials, it's just recess. And I'm glad the numbers are up a little bit, but eventually, I don't want to have to do these interviews with you every August. I'm getting, not that I don't like you, Jerry, but when my phone rings and it says Jerry Anderson, I know what you're calling about, buddy. So
always good to see you.
Always good to see you, Jerry. And again, get a hold of Jerry. Email address, we're going to show it at the bottom of your screen one more time right now. Give Jerry an email or give him a call. Get involved. It's one last question. I would be remiss if I didn't ask this. You do get paid. It's not a lot, but you do get paid, and you do have to buy your own uniform.
Correct.
Yeah,
and don't let the uniform expense scare you off. It's for a rookie official, it's $200 to $300 by the time you get the shirt and the pants and the shoes and all the other stuff that goes with it. Don't worry if you can't afford it up front. We'll help out with that and get you going and get you more than enough games to pay for all your equipment.
Any other homework they could do? I mentioned film study by watching any of our games on our NCAA Live YouTube page. Can they glance? Is there a rule book they can look at, or anything else that you think that might be a good idea?
If they come and join us, they'll get the rule book. We give them that and a case study book, and then we teach them what they need to know in the class and on the field in between.
Jerry Anderson from the Chelan County Football Officials Association. Let's have a great and safe, penalty-free football season.
Absolutely.
Jerry, it's good to see you, my friend. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Well, we're just a few minutes away from the end of the program here, and me filling in for Dan on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Before we bid you adieu, let's again see what's in store for us weather-wise. National Weather Service is saying a change is coming as far as the weather is concerned. Yep, here's the kind of the weekend outlook for the inland Northwest with some showers and thunder showers coming our way. And we'll cross our fingers that it's not dry lightning, but it is wet lightning, if that makes sense. So cooler temperatures also coming up this weekend as well, and that'll kind of set us up for next week. Today, not too bad. We got to be very careful, though, with sparks, with open flames, well, you can't have campfires nowadays, so don't. Now, as far as our weather forecast for the Wenatchee Valley and north central Washington here for today from the National Weather Service, sunny, chance of showers or thunder showers coming in midday today, highs around 93. That rain or lightning chance about 20%. Tonight, looking at cloudy skies, low down to 70. Tomorrow, we'll have a little sunshine mixed with some clouds and showers and thunder showers possible. Cooler tomorrow with a high of 88. Should be about 69 for the low Saturday night. Slight chance of showers or thunder showers through the evening and lingering into Sunday. In fact, the rain chance increases to about 40% with a high Sunday of 86. As we head into next week, a sunny day on Monday with a high of 90. And then cooling off a little bit, mostly sunny, 89 on Tuesday, 84 Wednesday with some clouds moving in, and then 87 degrees expected by Thursday of next week. We are at 72 in downtown Wenatchee. Yesterday's high in the valley was 93 degrees. The overnight low 63, record high for today 1961. Anybody here locally who was around in 1961? It was 107 on this date in 1961. 52, the record low that was set 21 years ago in 2002. Normally, we're at 89 for the high and 64 for the low. The sun will set tonight at 8:30, rise tomorrow morning at 5:44. That'll set at 8:39 tomorrow night. So we are losing about 2 minutes of daylight per day here now that we're past the summer solstice. So have a good weekend. There's a lot going on this weekend. Of course, you've got the Super Oval with racing happening tomorrow, with Christmas in August. It's the NCW Community Toy Drive presented by Les Schwab. It's Les Schwab night tomorrow at the races. You've got the Rockstar Energy B mods. You've got the Plum Perfect Roadrunners. You've got the Zero Handicap Youth Roadrunners. You've got the visiting slide around car. You know, they just do a lot of sliding. There's a lot of smoke coming off the tires and things like that. You can go to WVSO.com to find out more about the racing this weekend. Seahawks have a mock game today at Lumen Field, and they will get ready for their first preseason game a week from yesterday against the Minnesota Vikings. Expect to see a lot of Drew Lock both today in the mock game and next Thursday. Mariners picked up a win last night. They continue their series in Anaheim against the Angels. Apple Sox got a big win last night. They need to win this weekend in Kelowna to secure first place in the second half of the standings and get a chance to play more than one home game next week. Whenever they do play at home next week, we'll have it here on the NCW Life channel. It could be Tuesday at 6:35. It could be Wednesday. It could be Thursday. It could be Wednesday and Thursday. It could also be next Saturday. Whatever the case, we will have the broadcast here on the NCW Life channel. I've got everybody in our crew on speed dial here. So it's like, okay, Sunday rolls around. The Apple Sox finish up the series against Kelowna this weekend on Sunday night. I'll call everybody and go, okay, we got a game on this date. And so we'll be out at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium for that broadcast whenever it may happen. Also, next week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on Monday, Dan will be back after his big class reunion this weekend. And a musical guest, Bosiah. Did I get that right, Uriah? Bosiah? Okay, Bosiah will be here in studio to sing a song and to talk about their music. Pretty exciting stuff and some really good stuff too. So that's coming up Monday on a back to work edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Again, expecting maybe some showers and thunder showers this weekend, so be careful outside. If you see any lightning in the area, just don't camp under a tree, because lightning kind of likes to hit those trees, and be careful. And be careful around the water too. Still chilly in those waterways, and just be careful. Wear life jackets. Put the kids in life jackets. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching this morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you again tonight with sports here on the NCW Life channel.